Well, despite that minimum wage hike, the province may not be winning any new supporters among university students tonight, and it's all over a cup of coffee. Hundreds of students rallied at the legislature today, demanding that Christy Clark do something about student debt. Instead, the province issued a statement saying that students could save money by drinking less coffee. A News reporter Andrew Johnson was at the rally, and he joins us now live from the Inner Harbour with more. Andrew.
Hudson, you've heard the old saying along the lines of don't poke an angry bear. Well, students today were hoping the Premier or someone would step outside the legislature and defend the province's record on student debt. Instead, a suggestion many felt was downright insulting.
We are the future, and we are on your doorstep!
Not everyone can match Vancouver Island University's Tory Boser in the intimidation department, but we do get to know many marching on the legislature today on a first-name basis and find out they all have a similar story to tell. Chelsea figures she'll be $100,000 in debt by the time she graduates.
Over like 9 years, at least, to get to my PhD.
Michael's studying at Camosun College and says he'll be an architect one day, but knows he'll be paying for that privilege for a while.
How long do you think you'll be paying that off for?
10, 15, 20 years.
We're not made out of money!
And then there's SFU's Shideh Manavipour, who says she can't afford to take a day off.
I work 4 jobs and go to school full-time. I work 7 days a week to be able to support myself.
Christy Clark, interest rates are off the park!
Students here from at least 10 post-secondary institutions are directing their frustration at our new Premier, hoping she'll make good on her promise to help families, or those thinking of starting a family and wondering how to do it, drowning in debt.
We currently have the highest interest rates on student loans in the country.
The only response protesters here heard today from the provincial government came in the form of a press release, which says the average tuition increase over the past year for a BC university student is about $90, and goes on to suggest that cost could be offset if students would simply buy 1 fewer cup of coffee per week, which is not going over well with this crowd.
That's ridiculous. I mean, you know, out of all the things, they've got the money. We're sitting there spending our pennies for a cup of coffee.
And I think that just shows how arrogant this government is.
BC's new advanced education minister says the cup of coffee analogy was used only to put tuition increases into perspective.
We have the 4th lowest tuition rate in Canada, and we should be proud of that.
Yamamoto says she's going to meet with student representatives within the next few weeks, but declined the opportunity to greet this crowd outside her office. Hudson, this was certainly an impressive protest from a logistical standpoint. Many different student societies coordinated to get people here on time, dealing with buses and ferries from all over the place. But that said, there were many involved that seemed to not know exactly what organizers were pushing for and maybe didn't have too much of an idea of what government financially would be capable of pulling off for them, making some very large demands. That said, this is all coming from someone who can sympathize with their fight. I'm still paying off student loans of my own.
As many are. Andrew, thank you.
You're welcome.
Andrew Johnson reporting.